Today I want to talk a little about narcissistic systems in the male world. I usually speak about female dynamics, but I can also speak very clearly about male ones, because for a long time I was part of social groups where there were more boys and men than girls or women. So I know this terrain very well. I was reminded of it very vividly just recently. The way these systems operate can vary depending on the subculture, the environment, and the social setting, but the core pattern is the same. Today, the day this happened, we went out to eat with my partner in a nearby town. We're very unremarkable people in the sense that we don't stand out visually. There's nothing flashy or attention-seeking about us. And yet, as soon as we parked the car, I felt it. That familiar shift in the atmosphere. Almost like the air became thinner. If you know these dynamics, you know the feeling immediately. I started noticing how we were being watched from different angles, almost like from multiple points of surveillance. There was a man on a scooter, slowly cruising around, clearly scanning. Not casually looking, observing. Like a vulture, collecting information, who is here, who doesn't belong, who is doing what. This wasn't a dangerous area. It's more the kind of place dominated by a very specific male subculture, football-focused, patriotic, xenophobic, rigid. That kind of environment. The man on the scooter kept looking. And not really at me. These looks are rarely about women. They're directed at the man you're with. It's about assessing him. Placing him. Deciding who he is, where he fits, whether he belongs. There was another man who was standing some distance away. I watched him deliberately change direction, walk toward us, turn onto the street where our car was parked, and pass right by it, just to look at my partner. Again, who is he? Is he local? Is he one of us? Is he someone to challenge, ridicule, or dismiss? Then I noticed an older man sitting at a window, watching. Not discreetly. Watching. Later, a man on a bike did the same thing. What struck me was not just the behavior, but the ages. These weren't teenagers. These were men in their 30s and older. That's the part people often want to deny or minimize, that this mentality doesn't stay in adolescence. It doesn't. It solidifies. It felt like a patrol. A territorial scan. Constant monitoring of who enters and who doesn't fit. And it immediately reminded me of how male friendship groups often function in these systems. Male worlds can be extremely cruel. Way more cruel than female ones, sometimes in different ways, sometimes more overt. Men gossip a lot. I know this from direct experience. The idea that women gossip more is simply false. Male groups can be intensely hostile toward anyone who is outside. Different clothing, different posture, different values, any deviation is treated as a threat. In some subcultures, men aren't even allowed to dress differently. They're bullied for it. Beaten for it. Robbed. Humiliated. Forced into conformity through violence or intimidation. It's very much a with us or against us structure. Friend groups become rival factions. Another group is not just disliked, it's an enemy. And physical violence is always on the table. Seeing this again today really struck me, because I had partly forgotten how overt it can be. Not because it stopped existing, but because I hadn't been directly exposed to it for a long time. Cognitively, I know it's there, but experiencing it again is something else. So yes, I usually talk about female dynamics. But male narcissistic systems are very real, very alive, and very brutal. And today was a clear reminder of that. That's all I wanted to share for now. Thanks for listening. I hope this was useful in some way. And see you next time.